Hello everyone, the Army of Otters here, and welcome back to the Unexplored Capitol Wasteland. Today we're going to be looking at the town of Megaton and the surrounding area. This is recommended to me by Benson151, so thank you for the recommendation. So obviously Megaton is a place that people will often visit. It's really hard to miss, so I wanted to try and find some things that people might overlook and just show everything that the town has to offer. So let's dive into Megaton. So one thing you'll quickly notice around here is in Megaton there's a lot of water leaks, and this town is surrounding an atomic bomb, an unexploded atomic bomb. So down here we have the brass lantern. This is a place where players and NPCs can get kind of food, and it just operates as a restaurant. So kind of cool, and a place I definitely kind of skipped over in normal playthroughs. Of course, the centerpiece of Megaton is the unexploded atomic bomb, and the cult, the Children of Atom. Then over here we just have a Brahmin and a guy sitting down. And I do have to say, I always thought Fallout 3's towns felt very lived in. Right? It feels like this is an actual community, and it has all of the necessities to keep that community going. And then over here we have the old man Nathan, who is a huge supporter of the Enclave and is a bit delusional about their true goals. Now, you can actually go into the Church of the Children of Atom, and I kind of forgot about all of this. I don't really think there's a whole lot to do in here, but you can kind of see their worship area, and then you can actually hack the computer, and you can kind of see some of their practices and their goals as a church, and it seems pretty harmless for the most part. Then upstairs we can see they sleep in a communal area. So kind of interesting. Obviously these people are very dedicated to their religion, and by the time of Fallout 4 we can see that this religion is kind of spread to other parts of the United States, right? It's obviously prevalent in the Commonwealth as well. Now, a lot of the private houses inside of Megaton are locked, and you have to either wait for the owner to go inside or you have to lockpick it. Now, if we go to the top of this hill where we saw yet another water leak, where there's actually a communal housing, which is a place I feel like most players would never go into or explore. But in here there's a lot of beds, and there's some supplies, and a lot of junk. And then the beds in here the player can also use. So I would imagine this place is more of a living area for newcomers and poor people within Megaton. So kind of interesting. If we go back outside, we can see there's a couch right next to it. I imagine that couch is quite gross now. But then we can go over here to the women's bathroom, and it's just a bathroom. However, that toilet was broken. Now, this house is really cool. I thought it's like a bus that is also operating as a support pillar for the rest of Megaton. So I thought that was pretty cool. And then if we go over to Jericho's house, it was actually unlocked for whatever reason, so we can kind of get an insight into a typical Fallout 3 house. But it just has all of the normal appliances and stuff that you would need to survive. If we go over here, this is the door to the empty house that can belong to the player character if you help the town disable the atomic bomb. Then we can go to the water processing plant, and we can see how Megaton's filtration system works. Then we have Craterside Supply, which is the general store run by Moira Brown, and she has the quest Wasteland Survival Guide. And obviously the Wasteland Survival Guide becomes a prominent book in the United States, making its way all the way to the Mojave Wasteland in Fallout New Vegas. Then of course we can go to the main bar area, and we have this conversation with a ghoul and Nova. And this is ideally, if you kind of follow the typical Fallout 3 pattern, this is the first time the player character would encounter a ghoul, and we get some funny dialogue.
Hey, smooth skin. Haven't you ever seen a ghoul before? Well, not all of us got the chance to hole up in a nice cushy vault when the bombs fell. A bunch of us got stuck out.
And of course over here we have the infamous Mr. Burke, who will give us the task of arming and then detonating the atomic bomb for Mr. Tenpenny. So of course I had to do it for the video.
Well done, Mr. Burke.
Now, if you return to Megaton, you can actually find all of the ruins, you can find the destroyed deputy, and also you learn that Moira Brown survives the explosion and becomes a ghoul. So when you detonate the nuke, you'll notice that if you're continuing the quest, Wasteland Survival Guide, the quest doesn't fail. So you can still complete the quest with Moira Brown, and she does not suspect you at all for destroying her home. So it's just kind of an interesting bit of information. And then you can see here that merchants still come to Megaton despite the fact it's destroyed. And then you can kind of peer into the former town, which is just radioactive, and it's obviously gone because we just detonated an atomic bomb. However, the good ending, and the ending I wanted to do for my playthrough, is where you confront Mr. Burke. He will try to kill the sheriff, and then you can kill him. And then the sheriff will survive, and upon disarming the atomic bomb, you will complete the quest, and then you can get your own house. Also, another interesting thing about the bomb is it actually has the Vault Tech logo on it, right? The Vault Company, which has always been a source of like controversy or debate or conspiracy if Vault Tech created the bombs. Of course, with the Fallout TV show, we have more confirmation of this. And your house comes with its own Mr. Handy, and you can also talk to Moira Brown in the supply shop to decorate your house to make it more lively and to get whatever you want inside of it. So pretty cool. And of course you can put all of your bobbleheads inside, so that way you have a place to store them. Now something I really wanted to show is one of my favorite Easter eggs. So in Lucas Sims' house, the sheriff, if he goes inside, you can then go inside too. Normally the door is locked. But if you go inside, you can go to the top of his house and you get a really good view of Megaton. You can kind of see where he's overwatching it. However, there is a glitch here to get outside of the map, and this leads to one of my favorite Easter eggs in all of Fallout. So kind of getting up here can be a little bit difficult, but just keep holding forward and jumping, and eventually you'll get up here like this. Obviously, I'm quick saving a lot because I don't want to like fall and then have to repeat all of this. But then if you jump, there's like an invisible wall, and you can go up here to where this guard is, right? So in Megaton, there's always this guy who's watching Megaton. And then if you manage to get up here and talk to him, he has some funny dialogue.
The more time I spend talking to you, the less I'm spending watching for raiders. How the hell did you get up here anyway?
So we can see that the game is aware the player characters should not be up here. Now, actually, in another playthrough, I killed him, and he actually has combat armor, which is kind of interesting and pretty good. Now, if you jump down, you can actually leave Megaton through, like, a glitch. And now we're in some Dr. Bosch territory. But there really isn't much to do out here. It's just very glitchy, and you can just kind of see what assets they included so that the town feels real from the inside. Right, but we can see there's a lot of missing textures and stuff in the Capitol Wasteland. Really not a whole lot to do out here, but just something I figured I would show since this is unexplored, right? Maybe a place a lot of players do not get to see. Now, around Megaton, there's a few interesting things of note. So there's that, like, sniper tower, and you can see it from the glitch as well. However, there's nobody inside the sniper tower, which is kind of interesting. Maybe they had bigger plans for it, or maybe it's just purely aesthetic. If we kind of go to the south of Megaton, you're going to find a bunch of mad Brahmin. I guess this is kind of a reference to mad cow disease. And there's a similar place in Fallout New Vegas where you can find Brahmin that will try to kill you at Mole Rat Ranch. And just north of Mole Rat Ranch in Fallout New Vegas, there's a similar situation. So, kind of interesting. Then if we head over to the west, it's kind of like southwest of Megaton, we can find a Protectron from the US military, and we can kill it for some ammunition. But I don't really know why it's over here. I tried searching around, but I couldn't find any like military goods, so it just seems to have wandered off quite a ways from wherever it was supposed to be. Alright guys, thank you so much for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed. If you have any recommendations for the next episode of the Unexplored Capitol Wasteland, please leave them in the comments section below. Also, locations in New Vegas are okay to mention. Thank you guys so much, and until next time.